its associates, the lusty senses, dance. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Shachi. He plays kartals as his throat emits sweet melodious sounds, and the vibrant notes of the veena are softly played. He thus inspires the devotees to perform dramatic dancing that is infused with aspects of his own devotional service. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Shachi. He is accompanied by the Sankirtan movement, which is the religious practice for the age of Kali. He is the son of Nanda Maharaj come again. He is the extraordinarily brilliant ornament of the earth. His preaching mood is suitably adapted to the cycle of birth and death. His consciousness is fixed in meditation on his own form of Krishna. He is always accompanied by his transcendental abode. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Shachi. His eyes, the soles of his feet, and his clothing are reddish like the color that heralds the rising sun. As he utters his own names, his voice falters. He awakens a sweet flavor to life throughout the universe. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Shachi. जय श्री शचि सुताष्टकम की जय, जय श्रील सार्वभौम भट्टाचार्य की जय, जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
मैं उठता हूँ. जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी, 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 जय गोपी जनवल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी, जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानन्दन जय ब्रजजनरञ्जन जय यशोदानन्दन जय ब्रजजनरञ्जन जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय कुञ्जविहारी जय कुञ्जविहारी 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 जय राधा माधव जय कुञ्जविहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुञ्जविहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी गोपी जनवल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानन्दन जय ब्रजजनरञ्जन जय यशोदानन्दन जय ब्रजजनरञ्जन जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय कुञ्जविहारी जय कुञ्जविहारी जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय कुञ्जविहारी जय कुञ्ज हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatirottamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So we would like to welcome everyone to our morning Bhagavatam class. Today we are going to discuss from Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3, Chapter 4, entitled Vidura Approaches Maitreya, Text 29, Part B. Shri Shuka Uvacha Brahma Shapopadeshena Kalena Mogha Vanchitaha Samhritya Swakalam Spitam Tyakshandeham Achintyayat. Shri Shuka Uvacha Brahma Shapapadeshena Kalena Mogha Vanchitaha Samhritya Swakulam Svitam Tyakshandeham Achintayat. Shri Shuka Uvacha Brahma Shapapadeshena Kalena Mogha Vanchitaha Samhritya Swakulam Spitam Tyakshandeham Achintayat. Shuka Uvacha Brahma Shapopadeshena Kalena Moghavanchitaha Samritya Swakulam Shvetam Chakshandeham Achintyayat Shri Shuka Uvacha Brahma Papadeshena Kalena Moghavanchitaha Samhritya Swakulam Spitam Tyakshandeham Achintyayat. Matajis. Shri Shuka Uvacha Brahma Shapapadeshena Kalena Mohavanchitaha Samhritya Swakulam Spitam Yakshandeham Achintaya. Shri Shuka Uvacha Brahma Shapapadeshena Kalena Moghavanchitaha Samhritya Swakulam Spitam Tyakshandeham Achintyaya. Word to word meaning. Shri Shuka Uvacha, Shri Shukadev Goswami said, Brahma Shapa, cursing by the Brahmanas, Apadeshena, on the plea, by such a show, Kalena, by the eternal time, Amogha, unfailing, Vanchitaha, one who so desires, Samhritya, closing, Swakulam, own family, Sweetam, excessively numerous, Tyakshan, after giving up, Deham, the universal form, Achintayat, thought to himself. Translation. Shukadev Goswami replied, My dear king, the cursing of the Brahmanas was only a plea, but the actual fact was the supreme desire of the Lord. He wanted to disappear from the face of the earth after dispatching his excessively numerous family members. He thought to himself as follows. So, yesterday also we read from this text. The purport is long. So, yesterday we had taken the first two paragraphs. Today we will be taking the last two paragraphs. By practical experience also, it is seen up to the present day that the Lord's transcendental form is worshipped by devotees in different temples, and all the devotees of the Lord factually realize that the form of the deity in the temple is non-different from the form of the Lord. This inconceivable performance of the internal potency of the Lord is described in Bhagavad Gita 7.25. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavritaha. The Lord reserves the right of not being exposed to everyone. In the Padma Puran, it is said, Ata Sri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyai. The name and the form of the Lord cannot be perceived by the material senses. But when he appears within the vision of the mundane people, he assumes the form of the Virat Roop. This is an additional material exhibition of form and is supported by the logic of a subject and its adjectives. In grammar, when an adjective is taken away from the subject it modifies does not change. Similarly, when the Lord quits his Virat Rupa, his eternal form does not change, although there is no material difference between himself and any of his innumerable forms. In the 5th canto, it will be seen how the Lord is worshipped in different planets in his different forms, even now, and how he is worshipped in different temples of this earth also. Srila Jiva Goswami and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur have very elaborately explained this incident of the Lord's disappearance in their commentaries, quoting various authentic versions of Vedic literatures. We purposefully do not include them all here to avoid an increase in the volume of this book. The entire matter is explained in Bhagavad Gita as quoted above. The Lord reserves the right of not being exposed to everyone. He always keeps himself out of the vision of the non-devotees, who are devoid of love and devotion, and thus he puts them still further away from the Lord. The Lord appeared on the invitation of Brahma, who prayed before Shirodakshay Vishnu, and therefore, when the Lord appeared, all the forms of Vishnu amalgamated with him. And when the mission was fulfilled, all of them disintegrated from him in the usual course. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatham Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, I would like to seek the blessings of all devotees who are present here, that I may be able to speak something for my own purification and for the pleasure of all on this very exalted subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, we are discussing from this chapter 4, which is entitled Vidura Approaches Maitreya. So, this conversation which has been happening for the last 2 chapters is between 2 very, very exalted devotees of the Lord. And here, a very sad pastime is being discussed where the disappearance of the Lord and his devotees is being described. And actually, Uddhava, after the disappearance of the Lord, yesterday Radhika Prabhu explained the scenario, how the Yadu dynasty, the Yadu Kumaras, they had misbehaved with the sadhus, and because of which they were cursed. And actually here now it is being explained that it was not just the curse of the Brahmanas, but actually it is the desire of the Lord which is being portrayed here as a Leela. So, Parikshit Maharaj, who was very attentively and very hearing this katha, so he has inquired that why was it that at the end of the pastimes of the Lord of the three worlds, Sri Krishna, and after the disappearance of the members of the Vrishni and Bhuja, all the members, and as Prabhupada is describing, that the numbers was phenomenal of the entire Yadukula. But why was that only Uddhava was left to remain? And in response, Shukadeva Goswami is explaining that it was the desire of the Lord because of which he orchestrated these events. It's not that the devotees of the Yadukula, they were actually fighting amongst themselves. They did not have any, but it was an apparent thing or something which was orchestrated just to give end to this pastime, so that the devotees, after finishing their work, they can go back to the spiritual world. And Krishna also thought that he will also pass away. So, whenever somebody in this material world, he dies, we usually say he passed away, or we say that, oh, mar gaya. Because this body of ours is temporary, and we give up this body and accept another body after death. But when it comes to the Lord or to his pure devotees, it is that they are always there. And they are Shashvat. Sometimes they are visible and sometimes they disappear. That is why we call the disappearance of the Lord or the disappearance of his pure devotees or of the Acharyas. Just like very simple example which we can, Prabhupada also describes. He says, just like the rising of the sun. Every day in the morning the sun rises and in the evening the sun sets. And the next day when the sun rises, we don't say that a new sun has come. The same sun which set, now he has risen again in the morning. And so similarly, Lord Krishna, because his body or his form is spiritual, it does not disintegrate, it does not die. Rather, it just disappears and then reappears. Like yesterday, Radhika Prabhu explained this with a very simple example. Like how, when we consider as our Atma as a 500 rupee note. So there are different people who explain it or try to misinterpret it in different ways. The materialists, they portray that the Atma, which is actually a spiritual element, they bring it down or devalue it to the material level. And they say that, oh, acha, the Atma means this body itself. And so we must focus our efforts and energy only to for the protection of this body or for the sense gratification. So in this way, the body is devalued, 500 rupee note is devalued to 50 paise. On the other hand, the Mayavadis, they say that the Atma is as good as the Lord himself. You are the Lord. Or this 500 rupee note, they overvalue it and make it that, oh, this is as good as the Lord, you are the Supreme Lord, and so you are as good as 500 million. Again, that is also because of corruption. Like Prabhupada explains, this is all because of, this is due to the defect called the cheating propensity of the imperfect living entities. Or in another way, many of these Mayavadis, they devalue or bring the Supreme Lord, who is actually worth 500 million. Actually, not even 500 million. His value is limitless. But just for the sake of discussion, they bring it down to the level of the Atma. Like it is being explained over here, that showing that even the Supreme Lord's body is material, just like ours, just like any of us humans. Only thing is maybe he is having some extra powers or some Shakti. So, whereas actually the form of the Lord is Sachidananda Vigraha. So, and Lord also takes this opportunity, like it is described in today's verse, Tyakshan Deham, that like to bewilder such Mayavadis and non-devotees, who do not have, in any way they have any bhakti or devotion to the Lord, to bring them further away from the Lord uses this example. And like that is the reason why our spiritual acharyas and our like Srila Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur have elaborately explained this incident of the Lord's disappearance. It is not just the disappearance of any common person like one of us. Rather, it needs to be described, and that's why we see, like Prabhupada has also given an elaborate purport, and we are discussing for the last 2 days. And yesterday, Radhika Vallabh Prabhu, he shared about the various reasons and how it can be explained from the various Shastras that the Lord's disappearance is spiritual. And when we were discussing, normally Jiva Goswami's purport to various shlokas of the Srimad Bhagavatam, they are of 3 to 4 lines. Whereas for this particular verse, the purport given by Srila Jiva Goswami's Tika is more than 1 page. And this being in Sanskrit, we can understand that how elaborately he has described. So, but Srila Prabhupada, understanding the capacity of we beings from of today's day and age, he has further simplified it and explained it to us, like he says in today's, that just like a mother, when she wants to feed the baby, she does not give the food as it is, but rather she mashes it. Like for a small baby, when even an apple is to be given, so first she boils it, then peels the skin, and then mashes it, then adds and makes it soft so that the child can easily eat it and get nourished. So similarly, Prabhupada here, he has explained it in very simple terms, that how the Lord actually reserves the right of not being exposed to everyone. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya sahanvita. So, the Lord reveals himself only to his devotees. He does not reveal himself to non-devotees, because he has the prerogative. So, if you want to understand the Lord, we have to engage in devotional service. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Only by bhakti or devotional service, we can try to understand the Lord. And he explains, Sevon mukhehi jivvado. Means to understand, and this service or engaging in the process of devotional service, it begins from the tongue. That is by engaging in the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is a very simple process which has been given to us by Lord himself in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And by engaging in chanting and engaging in kirtan, describing the pastimes of the Lord, and also by partaking prasad. That is again where our jihva is used. And by that we can actually purify ourselves. So unless one is a devotee or has an inclination to become one, one will not be able to see the Lord even if the Lord comes in front of us. Like here we have Shri Radha Gopinath ji. He is the form of the Lord himself. But for people who are atheistic, who are demons, even if the Lord comes in front, they are not able to recognize him. Just like we see in the case of Duryodhan. The Lord Krishna was there in front of both Arjuna, the Pandavas, and Duryodhan and the Kauravas. But Duryodhan was not able to understand that the person standing in front of me is none other than the Supreme Lord. Even though the same Virat Rup which Lord Krishna showed in front of Arjuna, before that he had shown it to Duryodhana. But then Duryodhana was feeling, oh, he must be some mystic, he is having some siddhis, he's just a common man, he's trying to, he's like a dramatist. And thinking such, he tried to even to bind or arrest Lord Krishna. But he was not successful. So, while the non-devotees are not able to understand, because the Lord covers himself by the Yogamaya potency, Yogamaya Samanvita. So, even like Prabhupada is explaining in the today's purport, that by practical experience also it is seen that in the present day, the Lord's transcendental form is worshipped in so many different temples. And all devotees of the Lord factually realize the form of the deity in the temple as non-different from the Lord. Like when a person, first time when he comes to a temple, he may, when he comes and has darshan of the Lord, sometimes the altar is closed, and when the altar opens, when he sees, the first thought which may come to him, if he is not a practitioner of bhakti, he may say, oh, such a beautiful murti is there, and it is so nicely decorated. See, the clothes are shining, and such nice ornaments, and so many flowers and garlands, like that. He may appreciate the way, but then he may think that, oh, this is just a statue or a murti which is being decorated, and these people have, this temple is very neat and clean, it's very very beautiful, and then very peaceful atmosphere over here. So, that may be his first impression. But then, if he is sincere and he continues to associate with the devotees, and slowly, if he is inquisitive and he comes to the classes and he attends the lectures and associates with the devotees, has prasadam, and if he engages in some seva, then slowly he will realize that, oh, this is not just a statue or a murti, but this is none other than Sri Radha Gopinath, Sri Gopalji, Shri Gaur Nitaya. So, and by maybe in the beginning he may understand it in that, okay, this is what is explained in the scriptures, so I accept it that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. But in the back of the mind, we may continue to see that, okay, this is made up of marble or this is made up of metal, like that. But as one goes deeper in our bhakti and our realizations, then we actually see that this same our Lordship, they are reciprocating with their devotees. Like Prabhupada is explaining. We can see how the Lord manifests in different forms, and he reciprocates with his devotees who have a very, very strong attachment or inclination towards him. Like in Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajamyam. In the manner in which we approach the Supreme Lord, he reciprocates in the same form. And we can see there are, when somebody who becomes deeper, it's not just by spending time only that one can become advanced in Krishna consciousness, but one has to engage in the practices of devotional service in a very, with sincerity and without any malified intention. Then only we will actually be able to absorb ourselves in this process of bhakti, of hearing and chanting and other various sevas which we are doing. And that's how actually our progress in devotional service is measured. So, while for the atheistic who do not have faith, they are not able to see the Lord, they just see the material form. On the other hand, the devotees, they actually are able to experience the reciprocation with the Lord. And we ourselves also, amongst ourselves, we are also very fortunate that to a certain degree, even though it may not be like that of exalted pure devotees, but to a certain extent we have always feel the reciprocation with the Lord. Like, and Krishna says that Ata Sri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyai sevan mukhai jivvado. So by using our tongue in this service, then slowly we will develop this realizations. Sometimes atheist people, they challenge and they say that, oh, have you seen God? So when we come to temple, we see the Archa Vigraha form of the Lord is over here. But still people feel, oh, he is not. He is just made of material thing. So, true, it is made of marble or metal, but at the same time, the Lord's form is, sthapana is done over here. And he becomes. So, if we want to, even for, as a mundane example, if we want to see the stars, so with our mundane eyes, we may just see it as a dot. But when we use the telescope, then we are able to see little better. Or if you want to see the microbes or the microorganisms, then you need a microscope for that. So, if we want to see the Lord, we cannot depend only on our mundane eyes. So, even for seeing material objects, we need the aid of other instruments or facilities by which we can see the Lord. So, even to understand the Lord, who's Satchidananda Vigraha, who's a spiritual entity, so for that we need the help of some divine instruments or a divine process by which we will be able to actually see them. It's not that we can see him by our mundane eyes. So, in fact, our Srila Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur would say that don't try to see the Lord with your eyes, but rather you serve the Lord and his devotees so that the Lord wants to see you. So that should be our attitude or our aim, that we try to serve the Lord and attract the mercy of the Lord. Because Lord being spiritual, he reserves that right whether he wants to reveal himself to us or not. Like Prabhupada also says, like even a father, if he has many sons, he may not be revealing everything to each and every son. One whom he has the maximum faith or who has maximum love or service attitude towards him, he will give him the maximum, reveal himself or maybe tell him about the secrets when he knows that this son of mine is very responsible. Or even for that matter, if somebody even who's very big or influential in this in our times, if you want to know about him, that same information, although there may be so much of information which is there in the media and in the social media and all, but still to get some private information about him, not everybody can access. Only somebody on whom he has faith and whom he has a relationship, he will be sharing such information only with such a person. So we can also understand that for understanding or knowing about Supreme Lord, we have to try to attract his mercy. Unless we get the mercy, then we will not be able to understand about him. Like in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is mentioned, Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tvatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchyate. So the Uttama Bhakti is what? That we engage in devotional service of the highest order. And in that way, our senses will get purified and then we will be able to see the Lord, and also we will become free from mundane attachments or material vision. And this will help us to understand more about the Lord. Like Srila Prabhupada is telling in this today's purport, that the Lord, he is residing in a spiritual world, but at the same time he expands himself in different forms. And he resides in different planets, especially in this form of his Archa Vigraha. And he is worshipped over there so that he can engage with his devotees or with his with the Jivatmas. And this is basically his compassion. He explains that it is to show mercy on his devotees in each of these 9 tracts of land. the Supreme Personality of Godhead known as Narayana, he expands himself as Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Anirudh, and this way remains near his devotees to accept their services. So Lord is also appeared over here to accept services from all of us people, so that we can develop a connection with him. So Srila Prabhupada in the purport he explains that the Archa Vigraha and the original person, there is no difference between them. And one who is engaged in devotion, worshipping the deity in the temple in full opulence, even though he is on this planet, he should understand that he is directly in touch with the Supreme Personality of Godhead without a doubt. As given in Shastras, Archaye Vishnu Shila Dhira Gurushu Naramati. No one should treat the deity in the temple as a stone or metal, nor should one think of the spiritual master as an ordinary human being. So, by avoiding offenses against the deity and the spiritual master, one can actually advance in Krishna consciousness. And we see when a person is actually developed pure devotional, then he is able to experience the loving reciprocation of the Lord. And we know, we have heard of so many such examples, like being in Maharashtra, in Pandharpur, we have Shri Radha, Shri Rukmini, Vitthal Rukmini Dev. So there is this very famous pastime of how Vitthal, he reciprocated with his devotee Pundalik. Pundalik, being a great devotee, but he was also attached to serving his parents. And by serving his parents, he attracted the mercy of the Lord. And Lord himself came to meet with him. But then Pundalik said that, wait, I have services to my parents, so you please stand over here. I will meet with you later. Many a times when people are very busy, they are at a high level and somebody comes to meet them. So then they have to wait. But here, Pundalik, Supreme Personality of God has come to meet with him. But he has asked him to wait, and that's why the Lord is standing on a seat. And but like normally, somebody comes, then we offer them a seat. So here, instead, he did not have. He was from a very poor background, so he gave him a eat, and there the Lord stood. Like that. Similarly, if we go south, we have in Udupi Balakrishna, and how he reciprocated with his devotees, with so many devotees, and especially this story is very famous of Kanakadas. Kanakadas, although he was from a very, by birth, he was from a low background, but he wanted to enter and have darshan of the Lord. He had very great love for Udupi Sri Krishna, but then he was not allowed. And so he was waiting outside, and although the doors of the temple was closed, because out of devotion, when he started singing prayers in the praise of the Lord, that time the Lord turned himself and he turned himself towards the window, and from there he gave darshan to Kanakadas, who was standing outside the temple. And even today, if you go to Udupi and have darshan, we can have darshan from the Kanakana Kindi. Kindi means a window. And from that window, where we can have the Lord forever, he has changed his position. Instead of giving darshan from the front, he is now giving darshan from the backside. And then there are so many such beautiful examples. There is this story of Raghunandan. His father was a very good devotee of the Lord, and he would have deity worship every day in the home, and every day whatever is cooked by his good wife, he would offer it to the Lord. So Raghunandan, being a very, very small boy, he used to observe his father every day offering. And one day his father had to go outside somewhere, and so he requested Raghunandan that, why don't you make the offering to the Lord today? So Raghunandan was very happy. And once his mother made the offering and he gave it to him and he made offering to the Lord. So he chanted the offering prayers, and then after some time when he opened the eyes, the plate was as it is. So he became very astonished. How come, Lord, why are you not eating? So, because it was out of simple love and the simplicity of the boy and his devotion, that the Lord said, no, I have already accepted it. So he said, where have you eaten? The plate is full. You have to eat. Otherwise, my father, when he comes back, he will scold me that I did not make the offering in the proper way. So in this way, when he started pleading, ultimately, the Lord had to relent and accept. He ate the entire plate. So Raghunandan came back and gave his mother the plate. Now the Lord has taken, the offering is done. So now mother was shocked. Where is the prasad now? The plate is empty. So he said, no, I already offered to the Lord and the Lord ate it. So then his mother, although Raghunandan was a small boy, yet when his father came back, she reported to him that this is what happened. And so we need to look into it. She could understand the boy may not be telling lies, but at the same time there was something wrong. So now Raghunandan's father, he was astonished. So he asked the Raghunandan what had transpired, and then he explained everything. But Raghunandan's father was, he also developed faith that maybe somehow, maybe it is that because of the love of Raghunandan, something has happened. So he, just to test him, he said, okay, take this laddu and you again offer it to the Lord. And when Raghunandan again went and offered to the Lord, so the Lord first did not accept it. He accepted, but at the same time he did not eat it physically. But then Raghunandan said, unless until you eat this, my father will not believe whatever I have told him. So again, out of love, the Lord accepted it. But when he was eating the laddu, half he had bitten, immediately Raghunandan's father also entered. And immediately the Lord again took his form as the Archa Vigraha. And so we have this very beautiful pastime of Raghunandan, where he accepts the love of a very innocent child. So to understand the Lord, it's not that we need to be very proficient in Sanskrit or very learned, or we need to, only the simplicity and devotion of our heart that can attract the mercy of the Lord. And then we have many such examples all over the India. Especially we know of this very famous pastime of Sakshi Gopal, where a Brahman from Odisha, he along with another younger Brahman, they had gone on a Tirth Yatra to different places. And when they came to Vrindavan, to the Sakshi Gopal temple, somehow this elderly Brahmana who was, he was so grateful towards this younger Brahmana for taking him around and serving him throughout the yatra. He said, I want to reciprocate with you and I want to offer you my daughter in marriage. So this young Brahmana, he said, no, you are from a very high class Brahman, and I am from a very simple background. I don't have so much of money or wealth also. You may agree, you may want to give, but what about your family? They may not agree. He said, no, she is my daughter. I have my right to offer her to you as a daughter-in-law, as a wife. So, and then so when they come back to their village, at that time his family members, his wife and his son, they disagreed. They did not want to, they did not agree with this alliance. And so the entire panchayat had to be called, and where the young Brahmana, out of his, not because of his desire to marry with his daughter, but rather to ensure that any vow which is taken in front of the Lord should be honored. So with that desire, he said that no, we will have to go ahead with this proposal. And so the panchayat was called, and they said that, okay, this can be possible only if you have a Sakshi. So who was the witness to this entire incident. So then he said, only Gopalji was there, the Lord. So then, okay, if the Lord comes and gives witness over here, then we will go ahead with this proposal. So with that, now this younger Brahmana, he went back to Vrindavan and requested Gopalji that you will have to come and give witness for this incident. So the Lord said, because this younger Brahmana had full faith in the Lord that he is a person. It's not that he is just a marble or a stone. Saksha pratima nahi tumi sakshat Vrajendra Nandan. So he requested him. So the Lord said, oh, I am a deity form, how can I come? So this young Brahman, he said that, oh, if you can speak, then why you can also come with me. So now it is you only who can ensure that your word is protected. So the Lord then said, okay, you go ahead, you take and don't look back, I'll be coming behind you. And so the young Brahmana said that, how will I know that you are coming? So he said, you can hear the ankle bells of my pile. And so Gopalji, many a times when we offer pile to him, we offer the pile which can make some sound. So, and in this way, the Brahmana was walking and he could hear the ankle bells of the Lord coming behind. But after some time, when he came to this place where in Puri now we have this village called Sakshi Gopal. So after reaching there, he was not able to hear the ankle bells. So the Lord had earlier said that if you turn back, then I will not move any further. And so when he did not hear the ankle bells, so this Brahmana, he actually turned back. And the Lord said that, okay, I will stay over here only. Now you call the panchayat people all over here and I will give witness. And so when this entire pastime was told, so everybody became so happy that the Supreme Lord himself has come to give witness, and he was named as Sakshi Gopal. And of course, then we have so many such pastimes of how Lord Jagannath, he reciprocates with his devotees. To protect his devotee, he grows hairs himself. And there is this famous pastime and many other pastimes of how Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, they reciprocate with their devotees, with Gauridas Pandit and many others. And we have so many umpteen numbers of examples, how Tirupati Balaji, he reciprocated with his devotee Anantacharya. And of course, Sanatan Goswami ji, how Lord Madan Mohan, he reciprocated with him and requested that instead of just giving a normal Arteka party without, at least you try to add some salt. So the Lord is hankering that to accept loving devotional service from his devotees. And that is the reason when Madhavendra Puri, he was going on a parikrama of Govardhan hill, he came in his dream. He first came and offered him milk. Then so many times, 3 times, the Lord came in his dreams and instructed him that how his service should be done. And like that. So, many such stories are there which are not just a mythology, but rather these are facts and which are given in our scriptures. And like Krishna himself, he says that when Brahmaji wanted to know about the Lord, he said that by my all of me and my actual eternal form and my transcendental existence, color and qualities and activities, this can all be understood by you by factual realization only by my causeless mercy. So the Lord, even for a personality like Brahma, the Lord says, you can understand only by my mercy, by the Lord's mercy. And Srila Prabhupada says, the secret of success in understanding the intricacies of the knowledge about the absolute truth or the personality of Godhead is the causeless mercy of the Lord. So only when we get the causeless mercy, somehow or the other, we can actually be able to understand the Lord. And like the Supreme Lord, now that even Kunti Maharani prays in her prayers, she says that Maya Javanika Channam. So the Lord is present, but he is covered by his a curtain or by the Yogamaya potency, and because of which it is not possible for us to see or realize. Just like if from America, if you get a laptop, the plug or the power cord, the same thing you cannot use it in India for operating the laptop. You will need a adapter. So similarly, by our material senses, we cannot understand or realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when we use the adapter of service, and by service aptitude or bhakti, then we will be able to understand the Lord. Because the Lord says, Bhakti amam abhi janati. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says that Sri Chaitanya prasadena tadrupasya vinirnayam balopi kurute shastram drishtva vrajavilasinah. Only by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even a foolish child can fully describe the real nature of Lord Krishna, the enjoyer of pastimes of Vraja, according to the vision of revealed scriptures. So, very soon we'll be celebrating the Gaur Purnima festival, the appearance of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where Lord has come and given us access to this bhakti movement and engaging in the devotional service. And by engaging, especially in the Kali Yuga, sometimes one may feel that, oh, everybody is not a Brahmana to have access to deity worship in the temple, or everybody does not have Brahman initiation. So, but it does not matter. You can participate in whatever seva which is possible by you. Especially like it is said that the pujari who is offering deity worship, worship to the Lord, he is doing on behalf of all the people, all the congregation devotees. And in whatever way possible, we engage in bringing flowers or making garlands or cooking bhoga for the Lord, or in various, or participating in the kirtan, having coming and hearing lectures, or engaging, giving our Lakshmi in, as donation in various services. So everything is part of the deity worship itself. And of course, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being the most munificent, he has given us this process of chanting our Hare Krishna mantra. He has given us our beads, and for each and every person, they are the deities. And by constantly chanting the names of the Lord, it's our constant companion. And by engaging in the process of chanting, which has been very mercifully shared by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada to all of us, we can also get our realization and understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and be able to go back to the spiritual world at the end of our lifetime. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavad Purana ki, Srila Prabhupada ki